Hey guys, Dr. Trotter here. Sorry I'm looking a bit scruffy, but we've got a new cup out. So next month we're doing the Toxic Cup. So get on to SylphGG, check out what's going on there. Spend a lot of time on PvPoke. It'll really help you out in your battles. So we've got Bug, Poison, Normal, Ground, and Grass types. A couple of restrictions, Tropius, Noctowl, Vigoroth, and the Mud Boys. So I'm going to show you a bunch of battles here that I've done, like blind, no one really knows what the best teams. People had a little look at PvPoke. There's a few meta guides that have come out now, so check them out. I'll show you one of the meta guides that's sort of, well, not a meta guide, sorry, one of the team picking strategies, I guess, people to try and get a balanced team. So that'll come out soon. And yeah, we'll get into some of the battles and I'll show you the matchups this time. So we'll have a fair bit of information on this one, but check it all out on PvPoke. I'll see you soon.
Hey everyone, so we'll be doing some battle against danormshaw here, and today we're going to do something different. We're going to be having all of our PvPoke matchups over here on the right, so massive shout out to PvPoke for all of the stuff that they do. So you can see here, all of the scenarios that you'll see will be a one shield scenario. Obviously Bibarel has an awful matchup against Ludicolo, and Crustle is supposed to be quite positive. However, unfortunately my Crustle, if you look, it's about 100 CP too low, so he just doesn't get enough health and get to where he should be. So unfortunately we go down and this is not good for us. So yeah, it doesn't really matter what happens from here. Pretty much gonna lose the matchup. So here you can see Golbat. So these are all off lead matches as well, so this doesn't take into account, you know, how the battle's going, energy. This is just from a straight up lead, what you'll see over on the right. So you can see here, Golbat doesn't have a great matchup against Lola Muck. I didn't jump into Bibarel because he's pretty low. He does pretty good against Muck actually. It's not too bad. And then Ludicolo comes out, deletes us, and you can see here, even though Golbat's got a really good matchup, that's from a lead, and Ludicolo had so much energy from farming our Crustle and our Bibarel down. So yeah, so we'll move into match 2. And this is where we get a great lead here. Now you can see here on the right with Powder Snow, we have to shield, but we can see here he's actually got Mud Slap. Mud Shot? Mud Slap. So Heracross actually can just farm him down, and we stick in for too long there and take some extra damage, which was not ideal. So now we've got Gligar versus Venomoth, and we can see here Gligar's got a very, very dominant matchup here against Venomoth. Now that's with Aerial Ace. So keep in mind, my Gligar doesn't have Aerial Ace yet. I haven't popped the second move on. But against Flygon, we get another really, really strong matchup here. No need for Aerial Ace, so just straight Nightshade and Night Slash, sorry. And you're going to do real well, and you got the opportunity for that buff. So that buff's going to increase your attack by 2 stages. It's really going to be nice. If you get it early, you're probably going to sink a couple of shield, at least one shield into Gligar. But if you get the buff late, it doesn't do as much for you, but still really good. So it's a bit of a slow matchup, obviously. Dragon Claws and Night Slash aren't doing large amounts of damage, but they're both reasonably spammy. So we take down that Flygon there, and I just popped up here because with that matchup, because yeah, Heracross, he's got energy, it's going to do a lot of damage. So you can see here on there, 62 damage from Mega Horn. It's almost half HP. So we'll go into Palomon's Toxic Cup team building guide. So he seems to be really centered around Flyer, Anti-Flyer, and Anti-Tank. I think it's a little bit more flexible than that. I think you don't have to follow that 1, 2, 3 and then whatever else you'd like. I think this cup's really got plenty of opportunities for those sort of those spicy picks. There's lots of really good information here to build a team around. But what I would do is I'd look at this, practice, and then tweak the team yourself. Go into PvPoke, see what coverage you have, what you're weak to. If you're weak to something that's going to be really, really popular, maybe switch something else out. Yeah, just keep that in mind. There's heaps of info out there, so get on YouTube, watch videos, and get into it, guys. So now we're going to move into some battles against RocketClare, one of the hashtag girls at PvP. And we get a not so good matchup in the lead here. So as you can see here, equal shield scenario. As long as there's one shield, it's all over. And she's actually got dynamic punch, so we just lose that matchup straight up. But now you're going to see here, obviously Golbat has a very, very positive matchup to Toxicroak. And we do get that first shield, and then she switches into Alolan, and we switch into Heracross. So Heracross is very strong, but we need to have equal shields, or better, right? And it comes out strongly on top. So we charge up to 2 close combats, because obviously if you just charge up to 1, you're going to have a massive amount of damage you're going to take, because it reduces your defense by so much. So here we go, first close combat, and she chooses not to shield, so defense is down once. She brings in Fortress, so we'll throw the second one. So these bug bites are going to do a lot more damage now, but if we can just get to a third close combat, which we do, pretty much that's the game there. That's what's really turned this one around for us. You can see how much damage that really does to that Fortress there. So we've got Golbat. I'm not sure if she actually has Rock Throw or not. And she doesn't. So she plays this really interesting with Sand Tomb, then throws out her Toxicroak to try and do a bit of extra damage now that my defense is down, but it's not enough. So Golbat's just going to be able to farm the 2 of them down, and just because we can, why not with a Shadow Ball? So yeah, get onto PvPoke, look at your matchups, know what you're dealing with. I think it's a really, really helpful resource, especially if you've been someone who's gotten into Go Battle League and now you're just getting into thinking about trying out the Sylph Arena. A lot of people talk about it, and it's really, really useful for knowing those lead matchups. So for anyone who hasn't done, was it Ferocious Cup, and never did a Bibarel mirror match, you can see here that Hyper Fang does way more damage and is way more energy efficient than Surf. So ideally you want to bait with the Surf and land the Hyper Fang. So neither of us go for the bait, and now I'm going to throw the Hyper Fang, hoping that she doesn't shield, and she does. So now she just needs to throw a Surf. If I shield, then she's going to get to the next Surf before me anyway. So I decide to not worry about that and let Bibarel go down. So we're going to bring in Gligar and try and farm up as much energy as we can here. So you can see Gligar doesn't have a very positive matchup against Bibarel. But if it's so low on health, we just burn 1 shield, and now we've got our Gligar with probably 3/4 health, but bit of energy, enough for a Night Slash, maybe just over. So Night Slash isn't going to do a whole lot to Skunk Tank, but then vice versa, Skunk Tank's not going to be able to do a whole lot to Gligar. So we switch into Crustle. So he's going to be going to town. Obviously, we want to land that Rock Slide. That's going to do the most damage, but we might need to bait with the X-Scissor. Now he switches into Durant. Now that's something I wasn't expecting to see. So I was like, okay, let's check out this matchup. And it's not very positive for poor little old Crustle. Obviously we've got a lot of energy, so we're hoping we can just burn some shields here. Rock Slide is the more damage efficient move, even though he's a Steel type. It's also Bug, so it would be much better off just throwing 1 Rock Slide over 2 X-Scissors. But anyway, so we go back into our Gligar and we get a buff, which is awesome, especially because he's our last Pokemon left alive. So we get the buff, so we are able to then farm down just with those wing attacks, and now just go to town with these Night Slashes. Another buff, and that's definitely going to be game over. It's only an attack buff, so it's not a defense buff as well. So, but yeah, those wing attacks are just going to really, really ramp up. So cool. We're moving into our next battler against Krisader. So we do 3 battles against Krisader. He's another battler from down south in Australia. Shout out to you, mate. And we get an awful lead against Steelix into Quillfish. So Quillfish being, I guess, an anti-tank. Now he's running Fellstinger, and I was hoping he would go for the bait, but I assume he's also got an Aqua Tail in the back. And now you're going to see here how much Aqua Tail does with 1 buff from Fellstinger. So it's well over half of Heracross's HP. So I'm forced to throw the close combat, just trying to do as much damage as possible. And we get 1 shield. Now Not very nice place to be here. So I'm going to have to use a shield because it is buffed. Even if you threw another Fell Stinger, Fell Stinger wouldn't do much damage, but it's not worth the risk. That Aqua Tail would probably come close to KOing. Now we see a very, very interesting match here. Obviously, Golbat's going to lose pretty badly, so we get out of there ASAP, and we burn his last shield with that Shadow Ball. So this Earthquake is going to absolutely go to town and just KO. Alright, now we move into something that's a very positive matchup for Steelix. So you can see on the right, from a lead situation, Steelix doesn't need to shield anything and he's going to win. Earthquake I was hoping would one-hit KO, but it doesn't quite get there. But that's alright. So we are going to eat this X-Scissor and it's going to do next to nothing, and we can just fast move him down. So yeah, it was interesting to see that matchup. Now again, awful. This is an even worse lead, right? So we all have seen Toxicroak just die from confusions, like 4 confusions from, I think that's from a Venomoth. So we switch into Bibarel over here. If you look on the right, Bibarel needs to use 1 shield to get in the matchup, so it just oddly generates energy faster than Wormadam. But Wormadam had a bit of stored extra energy here. But he decides to get out there, and we go into Bibarel vs Kangaskhan. Now, Hyper Fang is going to do more damage, just from 1. So we know we're not going to get to 3 surfs, so we're probably not even going to get to 2. So yeah, we throw the Hyper Fang, and we are happy with that. Now Kangaskhan wastes all of its energy, and it's pretty low on HP. So Fortress comes in to take it out, and now we get Fortress versus Hippowdon. Now Fire Fang, you can see here, Fire Fang absolutely annihilates Fortress. So that Hippowdon's doing pretty well. We're forced to switch back into our Toxicroak. If this is an Earth Power, it's going to kill us, so call that one correctly. We do get the defense debuff, and we can see how fast we are actually dying to the Wormadam confusions. So you can see down there on the bottom, no need for Wormadam to worry about too much. Fortress is going to be able to take down Wormadam, but yeah, obviously those Fire Fangs are just going to rip through us, and that's that matchup. Game over. So I hope you're liking this PvPoke edition. I'm not talking about it too much, but anyway, so here we go. We've got the Electric Spider. He's in, and obviously, unfortunately for Chris, it comes straight up against our Steelix. So Steelix not required to do any shielding whatsoever, and he smartly switches out. Now we stay in. I was wondering. I was like, oh, should I have just switched straight away? But I thought we'd throw the Earthquake. Now this is where I kind of make a mistake here. Bibarel's a bit of a generalist, and he does beat Steelix, but if you look over there on the right, Heracross does so much better against Steelix. So whatever's coming in later is probably going to be better for Bibarel, because Heracross is just there to take out those tanks. He's not really that useful against all of the other Pokemon, unless he's running double tank, right? So we'll see here, we get the Galvantula? It's going to be like Tarantula, surely. So we get his last shield. We've got Steelix and Heracross there. We don't know what's coming in last. Umming and ahhing. So we actually put in Heracross, and he's got Hippowdon. But no shields, right? So if we had a Bibarel here, this would have been straightforward, easy, game over. So we charge up as much energy as we can, and then throw a close combat, hoping we can throw a second close combat. Now, obviously we're going to, even if we didn't have that close combat, Steelix was going to win that other match. But yeah, we could have made it a lot easier if we just had a thought a little bit ahead about the purpose of Heracross in the team and the purpose of Bibarel. It might have been a little bit more in our favour. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the PvPoke edition of this, and I really hope you guys get into Toxic Cup. I'm really enjoying it. I'm a bit over Go Battle League. I don't find Ultra League as fun, and I don't think I find Master League either, but I'm a Sylph man, so let's get into it. Please guys, if you enjoyed this video, share it with some friends, get it out there. I'd really appreciate it. So thanks very much. Take care guys, we'll see you later.
you.